Hi, this is Astrologer Coach Sonja Francis, and today we're going to be talking about the upcoming new moon, which is a powerful new moon because it's also a solar eclipse in 9 degrees of Taurus, and that will be exact on April 29th at 2:14 a.m. East Coast time in the US, which is also New York time, but it's also exact on April 28th at 11:14 p.m. Pacific time, which is the West Coast in the US, or also Los Angeles time. Now, a solar eclipse is always a consciousness upgrade where we're getting something shifting in our awareness, something shifting on an evolutionary soul level. The eclipse is always connected to the moon nodes, and the moon nodes represent our soul's journey, our soul's evolution. So with this eclipse, it will be connected to the south node, and the south node eclipse usually has to do with releasing any energies or attachments that we have that are no longer serving our soul's evolution. So all of this is going to unfold within the next 5.5 months. So whatever download we're getting right now, the unfolding of that will occur until October of this year. And eclipses also happen in 19-year cycles. So just like I already mentioned in the lunar eclipse video 2 weeks ago, this 19-year cycle is connected to an eclipse that took place on April 29th, 1995. We had a solar eclipse in the same degree of Taurus that we have today, that we have now. And this eclipse is basically it's resonating back to what we're going to be experiencing with this eclipse. And the way eclipses work is they're beginnings and endings a lot of times. So we want to kind of look and see what happened around that time in 1995 back then in terms of beginnings and endings in our lives. And if we did have a huge, major life change in 1995, then just know that, it's not going to be exactly the same this time around. What it will be is probably, it will either be a completion of that life change or we're moving to the next level with that same life change, or it's just something that's resonating energetically speaking in a similar way to something that happened in 1995. Okay, so it won't be exactly the same. Now, the solar eclipse in Taurus has a lot to do with our relationship to the physical world. So there's a shift that's going to occur in how we interact with the physical world in some way, right? So ultimately, of course, we would like to have a healthy relationship with matter, with the things in our lives, right? So there's a sense that we don't want to be too attached, we don't want to be too disconnected to anything that's physical, like our own physical bodies or our resources, like money, for example, but also our planet, of course. And so we're really invited to create new attitudes towards all the physical stuff, all, nature, money, all of life, all material things in life, right? Now, given that Mercury is connected to this particular solar eclipse, we're also being invited to release any unhelpful conditioning or any unhelpful thought patterns that are no longer serving us in regards to anything connected to the physical world or our physical bodies, but also connected to values, what we value, how we value ourselves, how we value other people or things in life, right? So Mercury is definitely asking us to kind of find new ways of interacting with nature or with all the, with material things in our lives, but also in regards to how we see ourselves, right? And what part we're playing within that. Now, Venus, which is the ruler of Taurus, Venus is an important planet in this solar eclipse chart as well, and that's currently moving through Pisces. And that is basically reminding us that we are all interconnected on a soul level. We're all connected to each other. We're connected to the planet. We're connected to all the plants, to all the animal life. We're connected to every human being on this planet in some way. So in a sense, what we're doing to another person or what we're doing to another living being or to our planet is really ultimately what we're doing to ourselves. So being able to create that awareness is part of that shift that's happening with the solar eclipse. And so, of course, in our relationship to Mother Earth, there is a particularly powerful shift that can occur, which is that, we need to realize that we are in a relationship with Mother Earth, that we're not owning this planet, that we're not owning everything, and every living creature on this planet or living thing on this planet, but that we are really a part of it, that we're connected, and that if we're treating it as if we own it, and we feel disconnected from all of that or separate from all of that, then our relationship with Mother Earth is not going to go very well. And I think that we will see the reaction of this planet will be to, tell us through different types of weather patterns, through, raising temperatures, the greenhouse effect, all these things are part of the planet communicating to us and saying to us, you need to respect me, you need to honor me, you need to see me as, a part of you rather than being separate from you. And I think that part of the consciousness shift that's happening is around that as well. Now, with Venus in Pisces, what's helping us is that we are definitely feeling more connected to all of that. There's a conscious awareness that we have access to right now with Venus in Pisces that helps us see how we are connected to everything that's alive. And we're also getting that mirrored back to us, that whatever we're doing, it's a cause and effect in a sense, right? And so if we're able to access this awareness in a higher vibration through meditation or through art or through our dreams, our intuition, that can really be very supportive in this process that the eclipse is this consciousness upgrade and this consciousness process that's occurring through this eclipse that can be very powerful, profound shift for us. So being able to be the eye of the storm and being able to allow for things to be what they are is really going to help us get more internally connected to what we value about ourselves, what we value about others, what we value about this planet, nature, everything that is alive, and all our material things as well. And of course, this eclipse is still connected to this powerful Grand Cross that I talked about in the lunar eclipse video, right? So feel free to watch that video again in case you don't remember what that was about, right? But it's definitely these are powerful energies because they're pushing us sort of in all these different directions, and it's asking us to take a quantum leap forward. And so this can feel very stressful to us because we're not used to being in such extreme energetic conditions, right, with the eclipses and the Grand Cross and everything. So we're really needing to allow ourselves to get very centered within ourselves and to allow all these energies that are happening around us and maybe also within us to just take place and unfold and become more the observer of all of this, if possible. Now, we're definitely invited to look at our attachments and our disconnects that we have towards the physical world and asking ourselves how we can create that healthy balance with things that we value over the next 5.5 months, right? Of course, that brings me also to setting our powerful intentions, right? Because during a new moon or during a solar eclipse, this is a great time to set some powerful intentions. And with the eclipses, these intentions are actually something that we're setting for the next 5.5 months because this energy is so strong that's coming down right now that that's sort of like the path will last for the next 5.5 months. So set some very powerful intentions. And it's very important to wait 48 hours after the eclipse has been exact for us to set these intentions, because during the eclipse itself, the 48 hours before and after, the eclipse is going to feel extremely strong, and so we're not able to really connect necessarily in an intuitive way to the things that we want to create for the next 5.5 months. So definitely wait 48 hours. And so the best time for setting these intentions will be Thursday, May 1st from 2:14 a.m. New York time until 7:32 p.m. New York time. Now, if you live in a different time zone, of course, that may be shifting for you. It may be already April 31st, or it may be May 2nd, right? But basically, I would say if you are not sure what the exact time will be for your time zone, then please feel free to watch out on my Twitter account. I will be posting at the time when it's the best time to set the intentions. I will be posting a tweet saying now is the time to set intentions for the next 10 hours or so. And if you're not connected to my Twitter account yet, feel free to join me at twitter.com/Sonja Francis, which is SONJAFRANCIS. Okay, so that way you'll know exactly what's the good time to set the intentions, because I know that time zones thing can get a little bit confusing sometimes for me too. Now, of course, with the eclipses, definitely allow for these new templates to download. Stay centered and grounded as best as you can until May 14th, because that's the time of the full moon. And usually the download of the eclipse happens between, until the next full moon after the eclipse, right? So we're basically going to be feeling this until May 14th, but by then it will definitely be over. And so remember, this is not going to last forever. It's just another couple of weeks from now, and then all the downloads will be completed. And so if you have any personal planets or points anywhere from 7 to 11 degrees of Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, or Aquarius, then you're definitely going to be feeling this eclipse very strongly. But of course, all of us will feel the eclipse somewhere in our birth chart, because it's hitting an area of our life somewhere. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling that you need some support with these eclipses to understand them a little bit better in terms of how they play out in your own chart, then please feel free to reach out for a reading. You can go to my website at astrologercoach.com/services.html, and there are several different readings available for you to choose from. I recommend starting with the mini reading just for the eclipses, if that's something that you want to get a little bit more clear about. But of course, feel free to reach out for any longer readings as well, if that's what you need or want. There's also an online form at the bottom of that page as well. If you fill out the online form, it makes scheduling much easier and quicker so that you can get your reading faster. So that would be great. And then also, in regards to personal planets and personal points in your chart, personal planets are the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. And the ascendant is a personal point, and the MC, which is the career point, the midheaven, which is on the top of the chart, is also a personal point. So these are just some things, so you can look it up in your own chart if you have a birth chart, to see if this eclipse is hitting you directly. And then also what I want to say is, when you set these powerful intentions for the eclipse, I would say sit down 48 hours after the eclipse and just get really quiet and go within, because this is an introverted time, the eclipse, the new moon in general, right? It's the time where we connect internally to our intuition. So sit down after 48 hours of the eclipse and just go within and just ask yourself, is there anything that I'm holding on to in my life that's connected to the material or physical world that's no longer serving me in terms of moving forward in my life, in terms of growth, evolutionary soul growth, right? Is there anything in my life where I feel disconnected from the physical world, and therefore it's also not helping me to evolve, on my soul's journey? And how can I find that healthy balance with the physical world? So this is really what we want to ask ourselves as we're setting these intentions for the next 5.5 months, and then just allowing that to unfold, basically, right? So again, as best as you can, stay flexible, of course, and as best as you can, stay in your observer position. I know it's not going to be easy all the time, 24/7. But use your tools, use all the tools that that you have available to you, like meditation or nature, going for walks in nature, or connecting to music in some way, just so that you can feel more connected to that flow energy, and just trust that the universe is providing, that the universe is supporting you in some way, and that as soon as the downloads are completed, that things will make more sense and you will be more settled in your life, and everything will have its natural and perfect place again. So have a fantastic solar eclipse, and of course feel free to reach out for support. I'm happy to answer any general questions about the eclipses via email, which is Sonja@AstrologerCoach.com. That's SONJA@AstrologerCoach.com. However, if you do have any personal questions that are connected to your birth chart, then please know that I can only do that via a reading. So feel free to reach out whichever way is the perfect fit for you. And I will be back in a couple of weeks with the full moon video about Scorpio. This is Astrologer Coach Sonja Francis. Goodbye.